Super late model driver Stephen Nasse had some high praise for the Cars Tour after he participated in the Cars Tour race at Tri-County Speedway. I think he finished in fifth place at the end of the race there. That Brendan Butterbean Queen took home the checkered flag at. But he had some high praise, and this is just after racing in the Winchester 400 in the SA Stars Tour. Let's listen to what he had to say here. He made an appearance on the Pit Wall podcast earlier this, or I guess it was last week. But let's take a listen and hear what he had to say about the Cars Tour and how it compares to other tours such as the ASA Stars Tour and the Super Late Model race Division C races in.
How would you compare the Cars Tour that you ran Saturday night compared to what you normally are doing, Stephen? Because I noticed you mentioned the Cars Tour was pretty tough. So, I mean, obviously you race tough competition when you run your pro car as well, but how would you
as far as competition goes?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, it's definitely, I think, a lot more competitive all the way through the field because it's just so close to everybody, and everybody's kind of kept in a smaller box than we are, and it allows for good racing, but it's definitely tough too because it's made it easy to pass somebody, and it definitely can make it hard for somebody to try to pass you. If Bobby there was a lot faster than me at the end, but we were able to hold him off just by the way the line was and everything, and with the way the power is in those things. So, it's a lot of fun and the competition's stiff, but I don't know if I would say I like it more than super late model racing, but it's definitely, I definitely like it.
For sure. Have you ran Tri-County before?
So there you have it. He's saying that the really tough competition and it's all the way throughout the field. However, he did say that he's not sure if he likes it more than his super late model races, but he did enjoy it. And then as for whether or not he might return to the Cars Tour next year, he also provided an answer to that later on in the podcast. Let's take a listen and listen to what he had to say about that.
Do you have any plans of maybe running? I mean, I know you said you maybe run another Cars Tour here or there, but like next year, maybe running a series or anything, or nah, just kind of hit and miss type deal.
No, not the series. We don't really run any kind of series. It'll all just be hit and miss, or whatever we really want to do. It's like whatever fits around the schedule that our super has, and the races that we want to go to and enjoy going to, and. I think there's going to be quite a few that we can add in, and I know, they got some good paying races. So I don't think it'll be something full time, but it'll be just like I do with Southern Super Series or, anything. It'll just be kind of part time.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Have you,
So there you have it. It sounds like he will be returning to the Cars Tour, but he won't be racing full-time. One would likely expect him to show up at the North-South race that they race annually. It was at Tri-County this year. That is the $30,000 to win race that Landon Huffman won earlier this year. So one would expect maybe him to come back. He did race at Tri-County, so you're getting some laps there, figuring that track out a little bit, getting a notebook. So maybe to return next year, I could expect maybe him to show up maybe at like North Wilkesboro, something like that too. If they race there again next year, maybe a premier race where you get like a lot of those NASCAR guys racing at again, where the prize money is a little bit higher. So that could be something to see him show up in, and it would always welcome to see Stephen Nasse race in the Cars Tour and in that late model stock. Maybe he doesn't just do Cars Tour. Maybe he shows up at like Hickory for the Fall Brawl, maybe for the Icebreaker at Florence. Some of those big races, maybe down at Southern National too. They have those big paying races for late model stocks that aren't necessarily Cars Tour races. Maybe he shows up for them as well, because there is some prize money going up there and up for the grabs. So that is what Stephen Nasse had to say. Has had high praise for the Cars Tour, the competition throughout the field, and looks like he will be racing in a late model stock car next year, potentially coming back to race in a number of Cars Tour races. So I'm really excited to see him come back. He's one of the more exciting drivers out there in short track racing, so it's always good to see him in one of my favorite touring divisions.